Hey guys, welcome back. Kamina the coach here. I have really got to stop recording on my phone, but I think it's a better picture. Forgive me, work with me here, folks. So, what we're going to talk about today is the first step to getting ready to make the move to go overseas. So, how do we eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Right? How do we begin to eat an elephant? One bite at a time. This is a task. So why do people hire coaches for different things? They hired coaches because a task seems overwhelmingly daunting or above their heads. So moving overseas, rightfully so, especially from our pampered comforts of the United States, can be very, very daunting. So today in this video, I'm just going to talk about step one. And from there, things start to really fall in place a lot more easily. Whether you're coming overseas to teach, whether you're coming overseas, contractor is kind of hands down. This question has already been answered. But if you're coming overseas to teach, if you're going to come overseas and do contract work on your computer, if you're just going to backpack around, whatever you're going to do when you move overseas, we're just going to talk today about the very first step to getting ready to come overseas. So the very first thing, and it'll seem really, really simplistic, but if you speak to any one of my clients, they will tell you that it's something they struggled with. So the very first step in getting ready to come overseas is deciding what it is that you want to get from the experience. So a lot of people, with Americans, we tend to have this, we want it all. And okay, that's great. But still, at the end of the day, we have to prioritize. So initially, when I came overseas, it was about money for me. It was 100% not about experience. It was not about traveling the world. It was about money. My plan initially was that I was going to move overseas for 5 years maximum. I was going to save up money. Then I was going to move to Northern California. I was going to buy a little small house on the coast, and I was going to open up an energy medicine healing retreat, do life coaching, blah, blah, blah. Maybe a year after being overseas, I kind of recognized that I was probably never going to be able to go back to the United States. And it almost 100% became about the experience for me. But I didn't take the time to sit with myself and really, really think about what it was that I wanted to gain from being overseas. So this is usually the first question that I ask any client that I'm working with. What is your goal from coming overseas to work? And oftentimes clients will state that their goal is money, and they will find themselves in the same position that I am, where the experience is worth more than the money is. But if you plan properly, you can have both. But you do initially have to prioritize which is more which is more important. So if the money is more important, then it dictates the places, if you're going to teach or if you're looking for an actual position. This is actually going to cut down on the places that you can go, depending on what your job is. Now, nurses, people in the medical field are quite lucky because there's a critical shortage of medical personnel, seems to be all over the globe. So nurses are quite lucky in that if they're out for money, they can pretty much go wherever they want. There's a huge need for nurses in the Middle East. And so then we're looking at quality of life versus the money, right, or experience. So if it's all about experience, then we have a lot more options, right? So as a teacher, then because as a teacher, money is the primary focus, then you're kind of narrowed down to places like China and the Middle East. because for a teacher, those are the places that are paying the most money. But if it's not all about money, if it's more about experience as a teacher, then you can go to places, you can open up the door to places like South America or Thailand, Cambodia, these kind of places where you can have a bit of a better quality of life. Because I assure you, the quality of life that you're going to get in the Middle East isn't going to be like the quality of life you're going to get in Thailand. So, that's the number one step to getting ready to come overseas, guys. Figure out what your primary goal is. Is your goal experience? Maybe for Americans of color, you're just trying to find some peace of mind. We get that too, right? So your number one goal, folks, figure out what it is that you want to get from being overseas, and it makes everything else go much more smoothly, figuring out where you want to go to begin your job search or to begin your home search. So I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Here's Kamina the coach, wishing you love, life, and happiness. See you next time, folks. Peace.